Okay, so growing your outdoors YouTube channel, what do? I'm gonna make some basic observations that I've seen. How do you get that first 5,000 subscribers? How do you grow an outdoors YouTube channel so you can potentially be able to do this for a living? One of the things I've noticed is just consistency. You've heard that a lot, but looking back at some YouTubers that I haven't looked at in 10 years and coming back, I was on the recumbent bicycle forums, I think it's Bent Riders Online, and looking up some information because I just bought a recumbent tricycle. And a guy had difficulty getting up out of his recumbent tricycle and wondered, and I said, oh, I remember a video of a guy, I think it was Minute of Strength, this guy was teaching kettlebell stuff, and I went back, golly, some of those videos are like 10 years old, but I looked at his channel, said I wasn't going to mention names, and there's only like 4,000 subscribers. I'm like, what? Then I looked and I said, oh, he hadn't posted a video in 3 years. All right, and that's one example. Some other fishing examples. I remember some of those early catfish channels that were producing a lot of catfish channels. The thing that I've noticed about the channels that were successful were the channels that have been producing videos for like 10 years. Some of the channels where they've been started right about the same time but didn't keep it up, they just really lagged behind. It's not to mean that if you stay consistent at something that just automatically guarantees your success. Nothing's going to guarantee your success. But one of those habits of highly successful, the junk, is that they've stuck with it over the long haul. Here it is 8, 10, 12 years later, they're still cranking out videos. I know a guy, I remember, I'll give you a name, Thunder Mist Lures. Guy's been cranking out just one video a week he's been doing it for, I don't know, what is it, 10 years or something? 12 years or something? Guy's got lots of subscribers as a result. Another thing that I've noticed is the guys where not only did they stick with it, but their methods and their techniques and their ability as a videographer, filmmaker, video producer, whatever you want to call it, grew as well. If you go back and look at their early videos, they were just new and they didn't know what they were doing. But you look at their videos today and it's night and day difference. It's almost like looking at something on TV or something. And again, I don't want to mention anything because I don't want to be calling anybody out. I don't want any hate mail either. You look at what their videos were like when they first started, and then you look at their videos today, and it's essentially the same video. The person themselves didn't grow as a videographer, grow as a video producer. So the quality of the video never increased over time. One of the things you'll notice if you just sort of look at the curve, the upward curve and exponential growth of a YouTube channel, you should be able to track and see right when they sort of began to increase the frequency of output. In other words, they started producing 2 and 3 videos a week, and then right along a time when they started really investing in good cameras and microphones and starting good lighting, and they started better understanding how to produce a video that captures and holds people's attention, you've started noticing growth. And they did that over the long term, and they just never stopped growing, right? And they just kicked it out of the park. Things picking up the motorcycle out there. I got the doors open. I don't want to run the air conditioners. Most people are going to get a camera and they're going to shoot a few videos. They might do it 6 months and then that's it. If that's what you want to do, fine. But the reality is, building a YouTube channel is a long play. It's a long-term thing. It's not something you're going to do 6 months. And some people, if you're just starting this with, I'm going to do this 6 months and see how it turns out, you're just, don't even start. I'm sorry. Unless you just want to. No. The reality is, I've talked to people. Paul over at the drywall fella, he said, yeah, about 5,000 subscribers is when he started gaining traction. He's been making videos for something like, 8 years? Well, he's got like 40-something thousand subscribers now. He's been doing it for the long haul. And I think that longevity is what most people are going to lack. They just want instant results. If all you want is instant results, then just sit on your couch and tap your screen and just watch videos on YouTube. If you want to work at it, you need to approach it like a business, approach it like being your own sort of independent contractor or something, and you work at the right things for a very long period of time, you then have a shot to succeed and a shot to do better. People just approach it as if they're just supposed to have success just because they turned on a camera. They have a camera, they're yapping their mouths off, therefore I should have success. You never even learn how to use the camera. You never learn how to get shots. You never learn how to edit. You never learn how to capture decent sound quality. You never learn the principles of how to communicate with motion picture, but yet they feel that they should somehow have tens of thousands of subscribers. It's like people who go to college and get a degree and they just automatically suppose that they're supposed to get a job just because they have a piece of paper that says whatever on it. Ice Pilots is a show on, used to be a show, I guess, I don't know if it's still on or not, on the, it used to be on the Weather Channel actually. The son of the owner of the company, I guess I think he sells merchandise like t-shirts and stuff for the company, because I forget the name of the company. The company is actually fairly popular in Alaska and the bush country and stuff, and they fly these old World War II planes. He mentioned how a lot of young pilots out of flight school go there and expect to be able to flying these old World War II airplanes, because those old World War II airplanes are robust and good for the rough and tumble of the tundra and stuff in Alaska. The thing is that they really think that, but he says you're not a pilot because you have a piece of paper that says pilot on it. That doesn't make you a pilot. So what do? They put them on the van and they have them making deliveries in town. Well, because one, it's not just paying dues. It's just that, look, we're first and foremost a delivery company. If you can't deliver with a van in town, why do you think we're going to trust you with this multi-million-dollar piece of American heritage in something like a C-47? And in other words, you have to gain experience, and you have to show both to YouTube and to your audience that you're worth watching. And most people just they just think they're worth watching just because they have a camera. And that's just not enough. But you can do it if you're willing to work at it. Most people are not willing to work at it. Whichever metric Pollen is getting in right now, you got to stick with it in the long run. You got to do the right things over a very long period of time. That's assuming you're not going to use black hat tactics and stupid things like targeting. I remember taking an advertising course once, and I'm looking at the book right here on the shelf. I kind of keep it there as a reminder never to do this. One of the things was target the 7 deadly sins, and then you can easily sell stuff. And I'm like, that goes against everything of who I am and my faith and everything. I'm not going to do that. I keep that book on the shelf. Don't want to reveal names. I don't want to get in trouble. But if you're going to do this the honorable way and take the narrow path, which is what I'm advocating, it's a long, narrow road, and not very many people will go that road. That's fine, because that means there's fewer people on that road. I can just keep on walking forward, right? And over the long term, it pans out, which is what I'm beginning to see with the channel as a point. If you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to grow a YouTube channel, you have to be thinking a decade from now. You have to be thinking half a decade from now. It's just like your retirement account, really. I only look at my mutual funds about every 5 years, and that are in my Roth IRA. I don't need to look at it every day. What's the point? You have to have and the only way you can sustain and drive that long is with vision. You know, part of the things that I want to do here on the channel is to, in terms of the teaching aspects, is to show people ways to catch boatloads of fish without spending boatloads of cash. I don't say that. I'm probably going to say that more often from now on. But if you look at the channel, that's exactly what I do. I have a very simple system, a very humble boat, I got down to a point where I was just using a line in my hand and I'm still catching lots of fish. Didn't cost me lots of money. Another thing is I want to show, part of me, the artist in me, wants to show the world as it is, the glory of God with an elegant simplicity. I don't do a lot of fancy shots and slow motion and stuff, and everything's 24 frames a second. But that's an artistic thing, not really a business thing. It's that elegant simplicity is important to me because that's where a lot of the beauty of the world is. It's not in the complicated high-end things, right? Let me know if that helps you. Comment below. What do you think plays an important part in a YouTuber's success over time? Think about YouTubers that you have seen and have continued to come back to. Even if you took a couple of years off from watching their content and you came back with a reckless abandon, or you haven't watched them in 6 months, you thought, oh, I wonder what they're doing. You go back and you watch them. What have you found? What keeps you coming back to them? I want to get that discussion started because that's what I think is needed. You got to think about these things and discuss it. So with that, I will talk to you guys later. See y'all. I'm out of here.